The title is brilliant. It sounds like it's like political and sexual. It's scandalous in itself. What's really fascinating about Elisabeth Jacquet-Laguerre is the words, well, we've translated, but I mean the approach and the complexity of what she's talking about. Because she's talking about patriarchy and misogyny at her time, which is so close to ours, weirdly, worryingly. But in the same level of complexity and details, it's not judgmental, and it is militant, but it's not militant. It's not violent. It's compassionate and angry at the same time. And I find really refreshing to have a complex discourse around misogyny and the difficulty of patriarchy.
What's quite rare, even for the women composers that we do know about, is that she had this kind of long, sustained professional career where she was able to develop kind of a mature style and start to kind of innovate and become like really confident in her craft. So the pieces that we're doing, she wrote when she was in her 40s, living in Paris. You can really tell that she knows what she's doing and that she's taking risks.
I've done quite a lot of French Baroque music, but I don't think I've sung any by Jacquet-Laguerre before. The sweetest of victories is all I pursue. Basically, in Judith, we have a narrator, we have Judith and Holofernes, and you kind of hear all three voices. So Judith's story is that her city is under siege. She basically seduces Holofernes and kills him.
The way that Toria has done the translation, it sort of switches persona, it switches time, present tense to past tense. So it's a little bit like a kind of story, like a filmic storyboard. It's not very common to have such direct storytelling. And I think in this case, audiences will really be able to sit back and listen and hear a story. Suzanne is the victim of a pair of voyeurs who are trying to pressure her into something she's not comfortable with. The cantata is the story of her attempt to vindicate herself and to seek justice for this kind of intrusion.
If you could see how aging bodies are breathing without glass.
I was drawn by the fact that it was a female Baroque composer and that it was a new translation written by a woman and that it was all about women. I thought that was fascinating.
That it's only right, as Leia is the eldest, that she become a woman first.
The character of Rachel is the youngest daughter of a wealthy farmer, Laban. She's betrothed to Jacob, but unknown to her, her father substitutes her older sister, and so she marries Jacob instead. And so Rachel, not being as feisty and fiery as some of the other women in this series, just sits and waits patiently until it's her turn. Audiences can expect a lot of watermelon-based action during this piece, and I won't say much more than that, but prepare yourselves.
Laban stands his ground, says he's a careful father.